systems go. Clear for liftoff.
What's going on, everyone? Welcome to the SHIPIT Nation Week 6 cash game show. A little earlier start this week on Thursday instead of Friday. Got some commitments lined up tomorrow afternoon, so making the change. But it will be the same format as always. Kind of go through DraftKings, go through FanDuel, develop that player pool for cash games, talk through some different scenarios, and then, as we always say, get on over to SHIPITNation.com where we'll have cash cores for FanDuel and DraftKings, which update leading up to lock. But as always, joined by my guy Title. What's going on? Then any initial thoughts here for week 6 cash?
Doing well. Just initial thoughts. I always like to look at the amount of games on the slate. We are looking at 10 games. We have 2 on Monday, still a London game. I believe it's London on Sunday morning, but that. And then the second thing I like to do is look at times. How many games are in the afternoon window? We are only down to 3 in the afternoon window, and I don't think there will be too much ownership on them. Now, a piece here and there, but the reason I say that is I just don't think it'll be you'll have 4 or 5 spots for late swapping, where if you are like drawing data very thin, that you'll have plenty of roster spots and plenty of options. As of now, I'm not seeing that too much, but yeah, things can change injuries wise. We have most of it. Kyler, the big one, still isn't practiced. Crazy. Marvin Harrison pretty much just came out and said, like, he's excited to see what Jacoby can do if he gets the chance, or I don't know the exact words, but something like, yeah, I want, as a receiver one, I want the backup. I want to see a guy that can actually sling the ball and throw it and not pitter patters like Kyler.
Can't blame. I guess I've been shitting on Kyler for a long time. And I mean, I hate to take the victory lap on it because I want to see these guys succeed, but he just doesn't. He's not a winning quarterback in the NFL. Like, yes, fantasy-wise, yes, he can get the job done. He can score touchdowns on the ground. Like, he can have big games. But in terms of winning football games or even just getting wide receivers the football, he's just not very good. And honestly, I guess we can kind of go into it because it is pretty substantial. Like, Brissett, if you were to play, is 4,200. Not the greatest matchup against Colts, who look like a pretty solid team, but I guess we'll just go into it that way. Cash wise, would Brissett be in play at 4,200 if Murray's out?
So let's see. What do you think of projection? 14? Are you thinking?
Let's see.
15.5?
Yeah, I think like 4. I think 14.75. Let's put that in and see, because I think that's pretty realistic because he can still move on the ground a little bit.
My initial thought is we just don't need it. A lot of that has to do with like Trevor Lawrence is 5.1. I also think Drake May is pretty good at 5.9K. When we go throughout these builds, I mean, man, the main thing is like Puka. He's just such in a tier of his own when it gets to wide receiver, and pretty much him and McCaffrey at every position, where I just want to jam in Puka. It's not like sort by projection right there at a receiver. Yeah, I mean, what? When do you see 5.8 points higher than that?
Separator at the position. I mean, yeah.
So I'm just going to keep playing him. So when you do that, that already kind of limits me from going up to spend at quarterback. So like if I were to spend, I don't even know. Like, I don't even really want to say any names. Like Baker, I guess at 6.6, if you even consider that a spend.
Well, you really spend. That's the thing. Like
he's the highest.
Yeah, the pricing is 6,600. It is the highest price. So it's like at that point, you're just spending to spend. You're forced to save money. You mentioned Trevor Lawrence, 5,100. I mean, very cheap.
That's what's standing out to me. I think Trevor Lawrence and Drake May. Drake May just with his legs upside. He gets the Saints in a dome, like a very solid matchup right there. I see, look at him as the same as like Dak and Baker and Herbert and stuff up top. I'm fine with, but on a slate that I think I can save a little money and I want to go more middling builds right now, I'm just thinking Lawrence and Drake May. And I don't think I need the like 4,200 to 5,100. I would feel much better, I think, right now if I can get Lawrence. If I can't, sure, I guess. But I think it's those two right now.
And that's what projections are showing too. So it's like eye test and everything else is telling us that projections kind of back it up. So, I mean, you're forced to save here. Like we talked about, you're not spending. Like there's no spends on the slate. There's not like there's a $8,500 Lamar Jackson or anything like that. It's all cheap guys. So you don't have to make like sacrifices to play a quarterback. So that conversation's quick. We'll just stick with DraftKings and kind of move through that way. I guess at the running back position, it's Thursday mid-afternoon, like we're recording this. It's 3 p.m. on the East Coast. And as of now, I would assume Hubbard is out and probably Bucky. Neither of them have practiced this week. Rico looked phenomenal. It's a pretty good spot against Dallas. I mean, he's 5,800 and Rays and Sabres projections as of now projected for 19.5 essentially. Rashad White looked really good in that starting role. He's 6K against San Fran. They're projected to score, slide over, 25 real life points. Sort by value, those two are at the top. You have Kyron. Let's sort by price and see if there's any expensive options. We have Jonathan Taylor, McCaffrey. So we do have options up top. Looks like it is a pretty loaded position, I'll say. Sorting by projections, you got McCaffrey, Jonathan Taylor up there as well. So I think you can go, I don't know if you consider this like cheap or mid tier, but 6K, 58, or you can probably go up top. I mean, it looks like, again, another week where we have a lot of running back options.
For sure. I mean, Rico's the one you just, assuming Chuba does miss, I don't know why you would rush him back. I mean, the dude just rushed for 200. To make things even cooler, he gets a revenge narrative. Does he need a revenge? No. I mean, to make things even cooler, this Cowboys defense is a JV football team out there. Like, man, Rico, he was catching passes too from Bryce Young. He looked phenomenal. So 5.8K, just a stone cold lock, I think. If you are spending, it's really tough between JT and CMC. I mean, JT's role has been phenomenal. I think I'm just going to keep saying CMC. The dude's, he's just such a cheat code for fantasy with his reception upside. Also, like, it's worth noting, like, Purdy didn't practice. Like, Ricky Pearsall doesn't sound like Jawan. They'll probably be thin again. Both Mac Jones and Purdy like CMC. So, but yeah, like, I think they'll be without some skill position players. If I had to pick one, I think it's CMC I'm spending. If you wanted JT, I wouldn't argue with you. I don't see myself spending twice, though, at the position. Like, if I needed 1,100, I would be good with Josh Jacobs, too. 14-point favorites. The Bengals aren't very good. But you don't need to do that, because if you want, like, we're already playing Rico, we're telling ourselves. If Bucky's out, which I think he should, like, why bring him back and rush him back? Rashad White, 6K, showed a great role, a very good pass catcher. He always gets there, it feels like. Javonte Williams, literally copy and paste about what a phenomenal role. Carolina defense isn't good. Small favorites on the road, like 6.4K. So I'd easily be fine just playing those three. And then Jaylen Warren, he did practice, so I expect him to be back. His numbers have been, advanced metrics have been awesome this year. He did miss that London game, and then I think it was London, and then Kenny Gainwell absolutely went off. But I mean, if Gainwell's doing that, you clearly see the scheme is there for Jaylen Warren. 5-point favorites at home there as well. So that's what I mean. If I spend up, it's only one guy, because I have to play Rico, and then the White, the Warren, the Javantes, like point per dollar, they're the best plays. So I very well might just play all three of them, or like just three of the four and not spend it all, because you already are playing Puka, you're playing Rico. But if you're spending at running back, you're just picking one spot, since that mid-tier and value is strong.
I think I would agree with you with the CMC stuff. Like, Jonathan Taylor's in another good spot at home. They're favored by a touchdown, but like they're more pass to him busting than CMC. Like, CMC's bust potential is like so low because of the receptions. Like, Jonathan Taylor, if he doesn't find the end zone, could have a down game, right? Like with CMC, like if he doesn't need to find the end zone to absolutely go off, which is
for sure
insane to say about a running back. So I definitely agree with you. Wide receiver, we already talked about it. Like Puka, just a league of his own. It's very rare in NFL DFS to have like a slam dunk, just safe wide receiver play. It's the pass catchers typically are the highest variance stuff in NFL DFS. Puka defies that. I mean, the guy is just insane. And it seems like he gets it quick too. Like he's just boom, boom, boom. First drive, 4 for 50. And like he's already, more than halfway home in terms of what you're looking for. So 8,700, we already talked about it. You look at the projections. I mean, he's projected 6 to 7 points higher than everyone else. Sorting by value, see when anything pops up. You got Olave continues to get targeted a lot, 5,100.
Are they ever going to raise his price? Was that 3 weeks in a row?
I think it's just because the Saints suck and they just don't even think about doing it. But another 11 targets last week, hasn't fully gotten there, but for cash games, like a guy that's going to get 7 to 13 targets, like in that range, like it's almost a lock that he gets that many. For cash, it definitely makes sense. And then you have a lot of guys in that range showing up here. Keenan Allen, McMillan, Pittman, Jacoby Myers at 5,800, Trey Tucker, Vlad McConkey, Stephon Diggs coming off the monster game. DK Metcalf looks cheap. There's a lot of guys in this range. And then JSN is the other guy that's just an absolute stud at 7,600. And if you could get there, I'd be fine with it in cash. So it looks like, definitely Puka and then probably at least one guy in that 5-ish K range and kind of see what you have left.
Yeah, I'm thinking Puka. Then I'm thinking right now probably Olave. Like 5,100 is just so cheap for someone with those targets. His expected fantasy points too has been phenomenal. He just hasn't lived up to it yet. He can't find the box, but a guy that just is getting that many targets, probably playing from behind in a dome. Like right now, if it locked, the slate locked today, I'm playing Olave, I'm playing Puka. Those are two guys in my core. Now, after that, it kind of depends on what you're doing at running back 3. And like if you're playing Trevor Lawrence and you're playing 3 value guys, you might have a little more money to spend. I don't know if projections will necessarily agree with this. I don't know. I'm good playing JSN. I'm also good playing Ibuka. Chris Godwin didn't practice. There's probably going to be no Bucky Irving again. Like this dude is just really good at football. JSN 2 at 7.6. If you can make it work and you go JSN Puka and you played like Warren, Rico, and Javante, like that seems so strong. JSN's just a monster in full point PPR. So it's Puka, it's probably Olave, and then one of those two I'd be good with. But there's so many options. Wide receiver 3, I think, is one of the toughest on the slate. If you want to go more middling build, Tat McMillan against an awful Dallas team. If there was ever a spot to get right, this feels like the spot for Tat. Jalen Waddle at 6'1". I mean, he's still good at football. Wide receiver 1 without Tyreek. Had a great game last week. I think he's good. You mentioned Stephon Diggs. I think Quentin Johnston. Yes, it was disappointing last time, but there's no Amari Hampton now. Like they're running Vidal and Haskins. You have to think that the Chargers are going to go back to being a very pass-happy team. Yeah. I still think Quentin Johnston's the wide receiver 1. Good price. Like I'll throw it to you, I guess, right on that. Waddle 6'1", Tet 6K, Quentin Johnston 5'9", Diggs 5'8". Like what if you want to say Ladd or Keenan, they're right there too. But what do you make of that range?
I don't know. It's very tough. Like something still tells me Waddle. Like without Tyreek. I mean, if I had the money, it would probably be him. I mean, Diggs.
Him or Tet probably would be my favorite.
I just don't think you can go wrong with whatever decision you make. Like obviously, I don't think they all get there. Like one out of those 4 you mentioned probably doesn't have a good game, or maybe 2. But like the decision and thought process going into it, I don't think there's a wrong answer, I guess is the answer. Like I
agree with you. Yeah. And I do think we're playing 3 running backs this week, just with how much of the value that we have. So I think you're just playing 3. And again, right now, I think it's Puka Olave. So it really comes down to that last spot. I will not be like plugging in a wide receiver before a lot of other positions. That'll be one of the last spots I come back to. Just because if I'm fine with a 7.6 JSN and I'm fine with a 5.6 or whatever Diggs, whatever his price was, 5.8K. So if I'm fine with that many range of outcomes, to be honest, if you go all the way down, I don't think I want to do this. I want to avoid it. But like Jalen Tolbert at 3.5, Floriney, I just don't know which is going to be the guy this week. But again, I don't think
you could take a bus. I mean, you can. I mean, if you get everything else you want, like in cash games, if a guy does nothing, like you're not dead. So, like, I don't. If there is a roster construction where that makes sense, like I think it's fine. But pricing is so soft overall for the most part, where you probably just don't need it, like you said.
Yeah, I don't think we need it. If there was though, there is options down below. But I think you're you're playing Puka, you're probably playing Olave, and you're living in that low 6K, high 5K, or you're playing JSN or Buka.
Yeah. Tight end position. I currently have it sorted by value, and Hunter Long is popping because Strange is going to be out for Jacksonville, 2,500 full punt. Jake Ferguson has been phenomenal this year. I mean, just an absolute stud. Dak looks to him. He's got touchdown upside. He's got reception upside, 5,300. No CD Lamb. Tremble showing up. Jonnu Smith, Tyler Warren continues to be productive at 49. Got McBride, 55. You have some options here, but like the full punts available at 2,500 if you want it and need it. Ferguson is fine, and then you have three guys up there. Ferguson, Warren, and McBride that I think are all playable. Plus the full punt is kind of how I'm seeing this.
I agree with you. Do you have any leans on McBride, Ferg, Warren?
Oh man, like freaking Ferguson has just been so steady, man. Like so steady. No CD Lamb. It's crazy, but honestly, I think it could be him.
I think that's my lean right now too. I mean, he's been tight end 1 in fantasy points this year. It's not even close. Still no CD. A team that is playing like a bad Carolina team. He's just really, Dak loves him. I mean, he's kind of ran back. Like he could have a couple more touchdowns too.
Yes.
Dak's missed them multiple times.
Early on,
probably has tilted you in tournaments.
Yeah, just I'm always overweight on Ferguson.
Yeah.
And I got him in like 40 to 50% of best ball teams. That's my boy.
There you go. You got to be looking good.
Yeah, so far so good.
But again, like if you're playing Hunter Long, then I think you're probably playing the CMC up top, or you're playing a JSN as your wide receiver too. And if you're playing like the Diggs or Johnson or stuff, and you're playing the middling running backs, then you're playing one of Ferguson, McBride, Warren. And honestly, the pricings are so close. It's just like, who do you think is raw points ahead? Really tough between Ferg McBride. And like, I guess do you want Kyler to play, or do you want Brissett to play for McBride? I don't even know the answer.
I think it's Brissett. But I'm super biased. I mean, again, I've been shitting on Kyler forever. But I guess he does for McBride. Maybe it's better for Kyler. I guess maybe just because it seems like he locks in on him. But for like Marvin Harrison, it might be better if it's Brissett. I just think the overall passing attack's probably better with Brissett in there over Kyler. Is kind of my initial thought.
I mean, I think you're probably right. Like, Kyler missed McBride on a wide open seam route too for like 35 last week. So yeah, it's probably, again, right now, I don't even think we need Long. I would like lean more toward just playing a Ferg, McBride, Warren, because those guys all have 20+ point upside. Like if you play Hunter Long and gets you 8 points, which is fine, that's what we haven't projected at. But one of those guys gets you 20+, you're playing catch up more than likely.
Hubbard didn't practice today. Again, today is Thursday afternoon, so I think it's pretty safe to say that he's going to be out, which is the assumption we're kind of operating under as is. Defense, don't need to spend a ton of time on it. Sort by value, the Raiders are obviously showing up as a solid option at home against the Titans, 3,200. The Saints are showing up here again, 24. The Browns at 2,500, and the Steelers. This is all sorted by value. A lot of times you want to go as cheap as possible here. I'd be fine playing Saints, Browns if I needed the money, and then if I had some, I'd be cool with the Raiders. So I don't know, nothing standing out. I think last week we had those cheap defenses that looked really good, the Saints and the Texans. Yeah, this week I think you can play those cheap ones, but they're not as solid as the cheap ones from last week.
100% agree. If you got the money for the Raiders, I mean, picking on Tennessee will be good pretty much every single week. I mean, man, like as long as you're not catching interceptions and fumbling and getting a touchdown like the other team, you're probably fine. So
crazy.
Yeah, it's no strong lean at D at all.
Yeah. All right, before we flip over to FanDuel, couple things. Hit the like, subscribe. We'd appreciate it. And then we're running the promo, as you can see here in the top. 5 days for $19. That code is SHIP19. You get access to all our content for 5 days. And now's a good time, assuming you're watching this on Thursday, to get in, because you get primetime slates. You get the Eagles and Giants tonight, the main slate, got playoff baseball, got UFC, you got college football. So it's a good time to get in. That code is SHIP19. head to FanDuel, see if it differs in any way. We'll go to quarterback first. You can always kind of make the case to spend at quarterback more so on FanDuel opposed to DraftKings, but as you see, it's the same thing. There's like not an elite spend. If you're spending, you probably want one of those rushing quarterbacks, and this looks awful. Like Herbert, Love, Baker Mayfield, Dak as the most expensive. I wouldn't play those guys if I had like the extra salary. I would find an upgrade. Like Trevor Lawrence just seems to me like the play at 6,700. What is Brissett? He's probably 6K.
Probably 6K, but yeah, I think you find the 700 for T-Law.
Yeah, because I marked this. Let me see. I'm assuming he's 6K, right? Yeah, 6K. It's like 700 more for Lawrence. It looks like he's the play. Like I'd upgrade my defense if I had extra money. Like he runs a little bit. He had the rushing touchdown. Bigger gap. I mean, 11. We like May over on DK. May and Trevor Lawrence, but it's an $800 difference. Over here, it's 1,100. Maybe Daniel Jones at 76 in the conversation a little bit, but just seems like this savings can go a long way with Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah, no, it's probably Trevor Lawrence, but salary's softer on FanDuel than DK. Like you just can't spend at tight end. There's so many great value running backs this week that are going to project like they're just RB1s because of injuries and great roles. You're playing Puka, but after that, there's some mispriced receiver. It's very similar, FanDuel to DK. But like it's not a crazy world where you just have 1,300. I guess it's like going to come back to the defense. Like the Raiders are pretty cheap at 38. I think you're more likely to play them here, but there could be a 2v2 that seems pretty similar. And one of them, you just like play Herbert or Baker or Drake or Daniel Jones. And then one of them is Lawrence that I think is the clear best value point per dollar at 6,700, but maybe getting like 2.5 more raw points. Like the salary's just that soft where you can do that this week. But yeah, I think right now it's probably Lawrence.
Yeah, I just pulled up the defense because you kind of touched on it. Raiders at 38,
you're probably cheap. Raiders.
Colts 42. I mean, I guess I don't even know like what you'd prefer, Kyler or Brissett at quarterback. Probably doesn't matter. 42. They're at home, pretty cheap too. But yeah, it looks like it's probably the Raiders. So I mean, there's two positions where you're saving a lot with Lawrence and potentially Raiders D. So going into the skill positions, seems like got a lot of money to spend. So maybe it is a little bit different. Man, some of this pricing is atrocious.
It's really bad on FanDuel.
Yeah,
like, how is Rico ever 6'6"?
How do you spend this? How are you going to spend the cheese, I guess, is the question. Or do you even? Rico at 6'6", way too cheap. Rachaad White, assuming Bucky's out, way too cheap. Like seems like you almost have to play those guys. Sort by projection here. You got so you're probably playing those two, and then one of these guys, $700. McCaffrey's cheaper than Taylor. Achan's 8,100. Genty in a pretty good spot, 8K. Yeah, assuming Bucky is out, like I don't see how you just don't play those guys. And maybe that's what it is. You play Lawrence, you play the cheap defense. I don't know if this build will work out, and you don't even have to say. But if you play the cheap quarterback, the cheap defense, Rico and Rachaad White, you're probably just able to load the wagons for your RB3 and wide receiver.
Yeah, no, you are. Like it's very similar build in the sense of like we're playing Puka on FanDuel too. There's a lot of money that you can do it. Like Rico at 6'6", just auto lock there. Rachaad White is really strong at 6'8". There's no doubt about it. But with him being a better DK play always with the full point instead of half point, and just being only able to play 3 running backs, it's like last week where you can't miss at running back. So if you have the money for CMC at 9.5 or Jacobs at 8.7 or Javonte at 7.8, like I'm fine with any of those 3. Now you're probably only playing one because you're playing Rico and then White at 6.8, but you also have Jalen Warren, who's all the way down to, he's 6.2K, so that's 600 savings. But Warren is a phenomenal play. Like this offense almost revolves around him. The Browns are tough up front. There's zero doubt about that. So I do prefer White for 600. I can probably get it, but Warren's strong at 6'2". And again, like what you do at wide receiver 2 and 3 might dictate, are you playing White, Rico, and Warren and playing all the cheapies? Or are you picking 2 of those 3, Rico being 1, one of the other two, and then spending up at running back 3. So very similar decision for DraftKings and FanDuel at running back, at all of them.
Yeah. Talked about Puka, 9,800. It looks like a big price tag for a wide receiver on FanDuel, but again, league of his own. I mean, you're looking almost like when you look at projections, projected an entire touchdown more than like the next guys, 5 to 6 fantasy points.
Have we ever seen that since we've started doing our cash?
I don't think so. It's always close, man. It's within a couple. I mean, there's been some separators, but this is like a touchdown better than the next guy, and it's pretty consistent. No matter where you're looking, whatever site you're using for projections, it's all going to end up in this range. JSN is up there though, 9K. I think probably just better DraftKings play for sure, but we might have all the money in the world. Talked about Ibuka, 8,100. Oh gosh, yeah, the pricing is bad here, real bad. You got Jacoby Myers at 6K. If Brock Bowers doesn't play, which it's kind of looking like he's not gonna, like Myers, he didn't have a big game last week, but 6K.
All right, Myers, Diggs, Olave. Diggs 5'9", Olave 5'9".
I guess Myers probably, but man.
I will say, at first look, this is definitely not one of my favorite cash weeks because I think you're doing a lot of coin flippies, 1v1s, 2v2s, picking a receiver in a range that they all look pretty similar. Like, if that's what it comes down to.
Forced to spend somewhere you probably don't want to spend, I guess, is what it comes down to. It's like
I'll fast forward to tight end. You're playing either Ferg at 7, Warren at 6'8", or Trey McBride at 6'4". So right there, you're already guaranteeing a spend there.
You spend some there.
You have to, but it's still not even like a huge spend.
Still not enough. Like get the 2. So you're going to pass up on really good value, I guess, at somewhere, whether it's like Rashad White, do you pass up on that? Do you pass up on these really cheap wide receivers, Myers, McMillan, Olave, Diggs, all like way, way too cheap? Do you pass up on that? Do you pass up on Trevor Lawrence, who's way too cheap, and force more of a spend at quarterback? Do you pass on the Raiders and go to like the Steelers? I don't think you do that. Maybe
that's what it comes down to.
Yeah,
RB3 and receiver 3-ish.
Yeah. That is what it's going to come down to. So it's pretty clear, but I mean, it's really bad price. FanDuel has done a better job. Let's see, with FanDuel, the only spot they do a good job. Okay, they do a really good job pricing the top end quarterbacks, those rushing quarterbacks. They get them up there. They get the high volume running backs way up there, and then they get the high volume wide receivers up there. Then everything else is underpriced. So that's kind of where we're at with FanDuel. So and they do a good job with the tight ends. The good tight ends. Everything else is just way too cheap though.
Yeah, the most obvious great plays are really expensive, but when you leave off still like Waddle's a lot, like receiver ones at a range that they just shouldn't be, it changes things. So back to kind of like just the quarterback, we were saying Lawrence so cheap. So what, like something that you can look at, Trevor Lawrence and Stephon Diggs, or no, Trevor Lawrence and George Pickens, or Herbert and Stephon Diggs.
I don't know. It seems like the same. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I don't know. It's like you're just in both spots. Like you're just spending to spend, like unnecessarily. Yeah, and you got to do it. So I don't know. Maybe it's like you just play, like find a way to play. See, I guess for me, like where do we see the biggest difference in like the top end versus some of these like mid-tier plays? And maybe it is wide receiver. You just overspend for, I don't know who's the next guy. JSN,
Ibuka, Pickens,
Ibuka, someone like that. Maybe you just overspend there. Or do you find like Jonathan Taylor and McCaffrey teams that you like? So there's some options. I mean, it's not great, but I guess that's kind of where we're at. Anything to add on or final thoughts?
No, because I think tight end, like right now, I'd probably be more likely to take the 600 savings with McBride from Ferg, whereas McBride's 200 more on DK. So that's one of those easy natural hedges we're talking. You can take the lower of the two, Ferg on DK, McBride on FanDuel. Quarterbacks are similar.
In Ferguson, the volume right now is just insane. So honestly, probably better suited for DK as is.
Yeah, no, I think you're probably right there. Defense does right now look pretty strong. Raiders, 3,800 with a mid-price 3K. You have to spend more with min price 2K. I believe Raiders was 32 on DK.
Yeah.
So it's easier to go there. I mean, if you're already plugging in Puka, Rico, Raiders, and Trey McBride, again, I think you could play Ferg though. Like there's a core right there. It's the running back 3, the receiver 2 and 3, quarterback. I think we're all narrowed down to a pretty. Maybe we live in a bubble. Maybe it's just the people watching kind of see it the same, and other people make mistakes. That's why head-to-heads, filling random head-to-heads is always the best in DFS.
Yes, very key. All right, well, it should get you on the right path. And then, like I said, make sure to get over to SHIPITNation.com where we'll have our cores for FanDuel, DraftKings, Cash to go along with all our other content. If you're not a member, 5 days, $19. Great time to get in. Gets you all through the weekend. All the sports going on. We'd love to have you get in our Discord. Very active and friendly Discord. Next week we'll be back on the normal time, Friday afternoon. But good luck to everyone in your contest. Make sure to tune in Sunday morning for the main slate breakdown. Good luck in your head-to-heads this week and 50-50s and double.